G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Wednesday the 27th of June 2018 and the time here is 10:35 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, as you all know, plenty going on in the world at the moment, probably more than can be encompassed. I'm going to show you some comments in the comments section yesterday which will help everybody out a little bit and try and maybe get you to focus just a little bit more on the things that you need to focus on, which is, and I'm going to say this to everyone again, focus on yourself first, and that's regardless if you're a man or a woman. Focus on yourself first. If you're the only one awake, then focus on yourself first. Then once you've got all your stuff together, your kit or whatever you've got, then you can plan for everyone else. But put yourself in a situation where you're the only one that's awake, and you know you've been telling people this for years, no one's listening to you, and then the day it comes when they have to listen to you, you turn around and go, well, holy shit, it really happened, I haven't got anything. Then you're in a world of hurt, because people are going to turn around to you and go, well, you're a friggin' idiot, why did I listen to you anyway, you're no good to anybody. As I said, start off with yourself. You've got a bag, you've got your stuff. If you're a man, sorry, let me rephrase that. If you're the person that you're looking after first, right? You need a bug out bag. You need bug out bags, that's for sure. But you also need, first off, what is called a Doomsday Bag. Now a Doomsday Bag differs from a bug out bag because it's got everything in it. And you pack everything you can think of into that Doomsday Bag. Why do I say that? Well, if you're going to get on your high horse and go, you may not have time to get the other bags. And as a group you can survive on that one Doomsday Bag, if that makes sense. It's got everything in there. It's a duplicate of everything. So you can carry the Doomsday Bag or share the carriage of the Doomsday Bag with the other people in the group. For example, a good bug out bag will weigh 30 kilos, 40 kilos, whereas my Doomsday Bag is heavy for me to pick up. Like it's about 65. But it's got everything in it. So if I'm stressed, that's the first bag I go for. I don't go for the other 5 and then think about getting the Doomsday Bag. You go for the Doomsday Bag first, then you get the other bags. The Doomsday Bag is always sitting around somewhere where you can actually get to it first. Not stuck behind a cupboard or, you know, something stupid like that. So I hope that makes sense. Before we go to the comments, a lot of people ask me, or have asked me in the past, you know, and said in the comment section, you know, good advice about wearing shoes out, which it is. And look, let's be reasonable. If you're just going down 4 k's down the road to the local shop, you don't need to put your bloody trainers on. You can walk home from there in bare feet. You know what I mean? But having said that, in the middle of summer in Australia, do you want to be walking down a bitumen road in bare feet? Nope. Even thongs would be more preferable than bare feet. So what I was going to say was, a lot of people said to me, oh, thanks for the tip about, you know, it's made me realise that I should take my bag and my meds everywhere with me and all this sort of stuff. So I'm just going to show you my bag. Hang on a second. This is my bag, my rucksack, backpack, stroke bum bag. Now, what actually happened was, I started thinking along the lines of a bum bag. So I've got 2 bum bags that I keep filled anyway. Can you see that? Now, inside this bag, I've got it's a shortened version of a bug out bag. You know, obviously can't fit everything in it. It's got a radio, you know, it's got all the stuff that I need, towels. I'll show you the towels. The towels come in a little package. You know, I've got 2 of those. It's got women's sanitary items in there. It's got plastic knives and forks. Plastic knives and forks. Why do you say plastic knives and forks? Well, very simply, you can take them through an airport. If you ever have to get on a plane and you're going somewhere, plastic knives and forks go through an airport. And I've got a full family supply in there. It's got a Leatherman, which I obviously can't take on planes, but I'll leave that at home. If I'm going interstate, but there's, like I said, I've got another scenario there with regards to a knife. It's got everything. It's got everything I need to keep me going for a month. My meds in there, which I need to keep my illness at bay, will suffice for a month. So that gives me cold comfort that I've got things that I need. It's got a little first aid kit in it, compass, you know, just all the regular stuff that I need. So if I'm, for example, I live in the Gold Coast, so say I went up to Brisbane, and we did on Friday, I took it with me. On Saturday, I took it with me. And I wore comfortable shoes to make sure that if I had to walk anywhere, I was fine. So these are the things you've got to think about, you know, like a stainless steel water canister, but it's empty. Why is it empty, you ask? Well, I can get water along the way, and if I have to, I can boil this, because that bug out bag, small bug out bag, has got a fire starter in it. So I can start a fire anywhere. Don't keep these full of water, because they get the water gets contaminated, goes off. So keep them empty. You can find water wherever you go, and as I said yesterday, get one of these babies. It's a life straw water bottle. You can buy them. That's it. This is your secondary. This is your first, that's your secondary. Because if you're going for a good old trek, imagine if you're walking from Brisbane to the Gold Coast in the middle of summer. Well, first of all, I'd advise you not to do it during the day, because that'd be stupid. And secondly, even if you are going to do it at night, you're still going to need a lot of water. You're going to burn through tons and tons of calories and water. So that's my point about going out with a bag with you, just in case. You could be anywhere. An hour, if you're an hour, put it this way, if you're going over a half an hour from your house, then you should take that bag with you, regardless. Hope that's made my point. Now I want to go through some comments with you, because these are actually important, and I hope you all listen to what the people are saying. First of all, I want to show you this one up here, and it's by this gentleman here, Blind Faith. I'm assuming it's a gentleman. Now, the reason and please don't send him anything or respond to him, that's not what this is. I'm going to read this comment. What's absolutely disgusting as our American economy crashes is we'll send Israel their $10.5 million a day. Trump signed the agreement. All of Congress is forced to sign the agreement, and they don't. If they don't, they're forced out of office. America will fall, but Israel will still be heavily funded up to their goddamn eyeballs. Well, my comment was, g'day Blind, don't focus on the money. It is not important. Look after yourself first. Listen, I could write a catalogue of things within our current world economic environment, etc. Sorry, our hair's getting a bit weird. But there's no need. I shut myself off from that stuff a long time ago, like I said to you. It's important, not important. Is it important that you care whether Israel gets $10.5 million a day? Not to me, it ain't. I don't give a shit. Excuse my French. But it matters not to me, as the saying goes. All I care about is me and my family and how we're getting out of this shithole, if that makes sense, or this shit mess that the world's in. And are we going to get to the other side of plan B? Because that's going to be when the real struggle gets to you or us. And are you really going to care about whether Israel's getting 10.5 million then? I don't think so. So my point is, focus on you. Focus on your family. Focus on everything else. Because things like that are what the mainstream media wants you to listen to and get distracted by. It's very simple, folks. It's not rocket science. Start looking. Don't get blinkers on. Go like that and just look straight forward at what you're doing. Forget the rest. It's irrelevant, most of it. Okay, I'm going to read you another comment here. This is actually a good one. It's from a lady called Natalie. I'm not going to read it all, but basically what she's saying here is actually pretty spot on. You know, what she's saying is try and believe in yourself a little bit more and stop reading or listening to all the rubbish, etc. Which is a very good point. And stop worrying about the sheeple so much, which is another good point. Thank you for your comment, Natalie. It's a really good comment, actually. In some respects, she has a dig at me because she's saying, well, you know, you're talking and people are listening, but what's the point? And I'm thinking, well, she's probably right. But my point, my whole thing here is to wake people up and to actually hopefully help out in the long run. Good or bad, you know, hopefully it's good. But if you read her comment, it's actually a very good comment in regards to keeping your head about yourself and don't get sucked into all these willy-nilly groups that are everywhere, you know, pledging you their allegiance and, you know, blah, blah, blah. As I said, look forward, look after yourself first, then reach out to other people once you know what you're doing and where you want to go. As I said to you, the group that I belong to, or that we all kind of started, there's properties up in the New England region, and if I could give you any advice at all, don't go anywhere else but the New England region, because it has fantastic crop growing areas, land, arable land, it's great, water, temperate climate, so that's why we chose that area. As I said, I live on the Gold Coast, so for me to drive there from here as a direct drive, it's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, so it's not that far away if I have to get there. And I would advise everybody in Australia who's awake, that's where we're going to be. So I would probably go there if I was everybody else as well, and communities will be built very quickly. Another gentleman last night sent me a video based on a group of people in Gippsland in Victoria that got thrown together and you know, didn't have any relevant skills. It was actually a pretty good video, although my one comment out of that would be that it was a little bit airy-fairy in some regards as to you know, everyone was a goody two-shoes sort of thing. Well, that you know, that ain't going to happen in real life. You're going to get some pretty belligerent people who just aren't going to conform to the norms, and then you've got to make a decision whether you want them to stay or you want them to go. It might even turn violent, you know what I mean? That's the reality of life, unfortunately. Right, 1 second. Sorry, I just had to have a drink. Okay, the other day I mentioned about the problems with Deutsche Bank. Well, it's not just Deutsche Bank, because remember I said to you that Deutsche Bank is owned, oh, everybody in Europe owns a bit of everybody else. So the debt levels are shared dramatically between each other. Now there's also another big bank in Germany called Commerzbank, which is just below Deutsche Bank's size. It's still a pretty massive bank. So what I'm going to do now is show you on trading economics a couple of things, just so that you guys can actually keep your eyes and ears to the ground and keep an eye on it. And okay, as I said the other day, I'm going to go through it so you guys can follow my lead, and you can actually find this yourselves and show other people. Okay, go to stocks on the right hand side here. Go to the DAX, which is the German stock exchange. Wait for it to come up. Now, the first thing I'm going to point out to you, don't worry about stock exchanges, because it's all rigged anyway. It's been rigged since 1980 sometime, from my opinion, but it's even worse now. But you've got to take note of the fact that this is slowly but surely going down, down, down. So there's a big crash coming, folks. Now, go to the left hand side, components, and this is Deutsche Bank. So you click on Deutsche Bank. Now before I do that, look across the page here. $9.21 a share, minus negative 40%. In this year it's negative 40. Do you see anything else there that matches it? Mainstream media. Which is ironic. Okay, I'm going to click on Deutsche Bank. Okay, so if you own Deutsche Bank shares, you're negative 40% this year alone in the first 6 months. And today, right now, it's valued at, oh shit, $9.03, $9.01 to be precise. Is that what it says on the chart? $9, yeah, $9.21. Now that's interesting. It's continually going down now. It's in a free fall. The government can't keep throwing money at it, and they can't keep it sustained. Now, I'm going to go back down the bottom here, and remember, if you want to see what it says in 5 years, and as I pointed out to you the other day, it was up to 100. The shares were valued at $132 a share. They're now worth $9.01. So virtually, in actual fact, these are now junk shares, and they just got their credit rating reduced to negative, by the way, which means that they're junk virtually. Now here's Commerzbank, and this is Germany's second biggest bank. Now remember this chart? Now watch this. So far this year they've lost negative 17%. Does that look familiar? So Germany's second biggest bank shares are now at $8.01. Jeez. So they're virtually useless as well. Let's go over to their 5-year rate. Oh, jeez. Look at this. They nearly went broke in, they went down to $5 a share. Now, they're at $8. So what I'm going to point out to you here is that everything is fantastic at the moment around the world. So how come the two of the biggest banks in the world are going pop if everything's so fantastic? So my point is, get ready, because there ain't much time left, I don't think. And I know me and a lot of other people have been saying that for a few years now, but it's been a grace period, really. It's been a grace period to get us all to get going and get ready. Because when this goes, folks, it's going to go. If you ain't got chickens or whatever, then you're in a world of pain. As regarding bugging out, by the way, I live in southeast Queensland, so you know it's not going to be too mass violent, if you know what I mean. I'm not living in a Melbourne or a Sydney or a bloody Perth or bloody Adelaide or whatever. I haven't got everybody living in my next door, you know, my back pocket. And a lot of people down in this, as you know, in this southeast Queensland, the northern regions of New South Wales, are very sustainable living people. You know, I've got an acre of land here which I'm starting to grow stuff and, you know, all that. And a lot of other people around here are the same. So there won't be too much of a change for a lot of people. But there will come a time when it'll become pretty hairy, because people will go out looking for chickens and dogs and cats and anything they can eat. Take Venezuela, for example. Venezuela, the first thing that went missing was dogs and cats. They don't exist anymore. Then they ate all the zoo animals, tigers, lions, everything. They ate a lot. All gone, apparently. Horses. You know, you can watch videos on the current state of Venezuela, and it's a horror show. And their economy's collapsed, but the world hasn't collapsed. So what's going to happen to Venezuela when the world collapses? World economy collapses. You know, Jesus, you'd hate to think, you know. So, as regards bugging out, if you can stay where you are, great. There's no rule that says you have to bug out on the third day. But if you're in a city, then I would be gone by the third day. Because by the fifth day, as I said to you, people are going to get violent. They want to feed their kids. What are you going to do if you want to feed your kids? If you're a mother with a 1-year-old baby or a 2-year-old baby and you've got no food, what are you going to do to get food for that child? You can do everything you can. In a non-violent perspective, a father with 4 or 5 children, he's going to get violent. He's going to want food. He's going to come and get your food. So I hope you take the point. Now there's one last thing I wanted to show you on this page here. I mentioned the other day about the calendar. Well, the calendar, it goes through everything that people are putting up from around the world financially. You know, the US government, etc., etc. Japanese government. Sorry, there was 2 other things I want to show you. So, if you want to find out exactly what's going on in the world at the moment, click on this button here, More. And you will soon see what this is it comes up with every item that you either want to listen to or you want to read. Okay, now if you look at the charts on the side here, the bar charts, you can soon see that there is a massive problem somewhere. And as I've said before, you know, it's 6th grade mathematics. and even a dumb kid at maths could get this very easy. Look at the charts on the way down. Down, 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 down. And if you click on the link, Saudi Arabia's growth rate year on year. Look at that. God, it's in negative territory. You know, why has no one ever asked, how come mortgage rates around the world are still at high percentages when we all know that the actual mortgage rate is 1.25 or 1.5 like it is here in Australia? But anyway, I digress. Look, you can go around to these and you can actually see for yourself in black and white that there is a huge problem somewhere. Look at this. This is a US government auction for the 5-year note. It actually went backwards. Right, there's one other thing I wanted to show you, and this is actually important. Well, they're all important, but this is even more important. Let's go down the bottom here. Debt to GDP levels. At least once a week, you should keep an eye on this. Now, Japan is continuing to go up on their debt to GDP levels. And so is Italy, and so is everybody else, because it's unsustainable. Remember, anything above 50, you're heading into bad territory. 50, not 500, that's 50 with just 10, 50% of GDP. Japan's at 250. So economically, Japan is an absolute basket case. America is at 105, 105%. And I showed you the chart the other day in the US debt clock. There's just no way, there's no physical way, even if Trump jails every single crook in the world, that you can get rid of that debt. You can get rid of a chunk of it, but you're not going to get rid of all of it. In actual fact, I believe the actual repayments now are almost the same as the debt. So, you know, if you're taking $1 trillion and you have to pay $1 trillion back, then what's that tell you? You're in really, really bad territory. So I hope all that helps, and you can use that page, Trading Economics, as a tool for yourselves to keep an honest appraisal of what's going on in the world at the moment. Because the financial pages are just not telling you the truth. It's as simple as that. And like I said the other day, one of the reasons why they're trying to turn everybody to turn on Russia, look at this. Russia's GDP is 12.6% debt to GDP levels. So basically they have no debt. They have no national debt, virtually zero. And their interest rate is 7.25, so they're actually very, very comfortable. Here's Australia with 23 million people and about 6 million paying tax. Ours is at 41% and going up. Look what it was. Look how low it was when Kevin Rudd came into power, 2008. This is the 10-year average, by the way, 08 to 18. So look how low it used to be when John Howard and Costello were in power. Look at it now. And that's only in 10 years, folks. So imagine it in another 10 years. Time to speak up, folks. We're losing our country, or we've already lost it. And okay, folks, as per usual, verse of the day. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone among your people, but love your neighbour as yourself. I am the Lord. How apt is that? And as per usual, folks, the Lord's Prayer. Say it with me if you want. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory for ever and ever. Amen. Well, folks, I'll leave it there. I reckon I've rabbited on enough. This is all about getting prepared and getting ready for what's coming. So I hope I'm helping. Anyway, God bless. Prep out.